everyone. Good morning. I'm Toastmaster Usha, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I would like to welcome each and every one of you, fellow Toastmasters and guests, to the 34th meeting of Vasco Toastmasters Club. At Toastmaster, we do a lot of fun and exciting things. We are individual people from different backgrounds, different fields, and different ages, but with same mission. It is important we all feel included and we all feel at home. So whenever we speak, we make sure we don't hurt anyone's sentimentals and feelings. So we refrain from talking about sex, religion, and politics. We respect everyone's roles and the effort they have put into it. I would request each one of you to switch on your videos. Please don't distract the speaker. And if required, keep your mics on mute so that if there is some disturbance in your background. Please turn off your videos if you're stepping out of the frame. I would also request the Toastmasters and the guests to encourage the speaker by using reaction buttons, or in case if needed, clap loudly. Let's now begin with our missions. The Toastmaster mission of the mission of the Toastmaster Club is to provide mutually supportive and positive learning environment where each member will have an opportunity to develop their communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster the self-confidence and personal growth. Now I request the Zoom master to please spotlight the dynamic President Toastmaster Abrar. A true leader is one who knows the way and shows the way. Over to you, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you, Usha. Sergeant at Arms can be here for Usha. Distinguished Toastmasters who are not here in the room, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Very good morning. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills to a worldwide network of clubs. Look at the diversity in this room. Look at all the people who have connected. We in fact have a general evaluator who's traveled to Mumbai and she's been connecting from there. Since 1924, this non-profit organization has been started and people from diverse backgrounds have joined in and become excellent communicators and leaders. Since we have no guests and everybody is aware about the protocols when it comes to the guests and the interactions, I will quickly now move on and go ahead with informing everybody that this time a fun fact. More than 16,500 clubs are there across the globe. How many clubs have you joined in? Apart from Goa, like in Goa itself, you have 10 clubs, and in these 10 clubs, Vasco is one of them. Ours is a community club wherein everyone is requested or allowed to join in. Moving ahead, every Toastmasters meeting has a theme, and today's theme is Inversion. And in order to take ahead from here, we have one of the most important Toastmasters of Vasco Toastmasters Club, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abrar. Hi. So now I will shift from my presiding officer's role and move on to Toastmaster of the day role. Since it's a Sunday and I wanted to keep it light, I actually wanted to keep it, have this particular stoic philosophical theme on a Friday evening when everybody wanted to celebrate the weekend. But no, oh gosh, I miss it. And I am right here on Sunday. So I thought, why not start with a story? Something what was very close to me and how my best ideas were crushed down by one of my faculties back in 2016. I did not hear the general evaluator or our immediate past presidents making fun of me, but no, I'm an excellent leader and I knew it long back. Very confident, and as everyone else knows is in the fraternity, I am a rebel. And as I'd mentioned in my icebreaker, as well as my other meetings, I like to take things and put it in a way where people are not very much comfortable. Put them in the most uncomfortable situation and then see how they react. Coming back to my story of 2016. In 2016, we had this event which we had to do for Goa. In my mind, I wanted to make it the biggest management event of Goa. Every year, the budget used to be somewhere around 2 lakhs. That's the max from since the time of the inception of the particular university that I was part of. And everybody said, how about we do it to 1.5 lakh or maybe 1 lakh? I deviated from it and I said that, I'm going to get someone who's going to write us a check of almost 10 lakhs. Why not us? And I was very ambitious, so ambitious that I told the principal, every faculty that tomorrow this person is going to join in and everybody is going to write a check. We go to the first person, he says no. We go to the second person, he says no. I called my favorite faculty who is into investments and I tell him, can you connect me to this so and so person and I'm going to request him to write a check for us. And he said, okay, he got us a meeting and he said no. Now I had one of my favorite faculties come to me and he told me, Abrar, you looked at all the things what everybody had done well. Why didn't you pay attention to all the things that did not work out for the events? So I contacted all the coordinators from the previous events and I asked them, tell me all the things that you all did wrong. And they all gave me. They said, this was not right, that was not right, this was not. I jotted it down. And now I decided I'm not going to repeat any of these things. They said this particular person was supposed to join in and this person did not make it. So I said, okay, how about we call the youth icon? We called Mr. Varun Agarwal. I got in touch with him and I told him exactly why I'm approaching him. And I told him these are all the things why he shouldn't join us. And to my surprise, he agreed. And that's how we went ahead with it. So in life, you always have to invert. Turn a situation upside down. This was done by a mathematician. And how I came to know about this was through one of the investment bankers. Everybody knows who Warren Buffett is. But does anyone know who Charlie Munger is? Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's partner. And he himself says, tell me when I'm going to die or where I'm going to die. And I'm not going to go there. That's how you live life. Instead of looking for success, like everybody here today, think about all the reasons why this meeting would not work out. We might have someone who's going to drop. We might have someone who's not going to have a proper script. We might have someone who's going to have technical glitches. Now write it down and put on that smile and say that let's move ahead and let's have a wonderful meeting. That's the attitude what you need to keep in and be prepared for all the things that can go wrong. I think for last a year and a half, we all know where we have gone wrong. And to move ahead, I've already imagined the worst case scenario and discussed it with Anthony. So we are both smiling. We've enjoyed some nice music and we are moving ahead. Now, I would like to call three minor role players who are going to help me out in order to run this meeting smoothly. Can we have our timer, Saurav? I think Saurav has dropped off. Dear General Evaluator, I would like to propose that the R counter's role will be taken up by Usha Jaiswal. I would request a proposer and a seconder.
Toastmaster of the day, would the passing of the motion be only for a change or also for the adoption of the agenda?
It will be for the adoption of the agenda. The agenda was already shared in the chat box.
Right. Okay. So in that case, I propose the adoption and the change in the agenda.
I second.
Thank you. We move ahead. I can't see the timer.
The timer has dropped. I think he has some issues.
Okay. So let's start from the other way around. How about we start with the introduction of the grammarian, one of the important role. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Akansha Parihar. Zoom Master, could you please spotlight her? Akansha Parihar is a financial professional, one of the person who is drilling down in everyone's head the power of compounding. She loves arts, she loves books, and she is a real good creative writer out there. Toastmaster, please put your hands together and can we hear from Toastmaster Akansha, the grammarian for today's meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I am Toastmaster Akansha Parihar, your grammarian for the meeting. As the grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage to take note of any misuse of the English language as well as the outstanding usage. Besides, I will also keep a track of any noteworthy phrases and quotes. As the grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day to enrich our vocabulary. For today's meeting, the word is euphoric, which means a feeling of great joy and excitement. An example of using the word is, scientists are euphoric at the success of the test. I encourage you all to use the word of the day as frequent as possible in this meeting. I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Akansha. Thank you, Akansha. We now move on to hear from the second minor role player and an important role player, Toastmaster Usha Parihar, the R counter for today's meeting. Toastmaster Usha is a design engineer. She wants to get better and in terms of a communication and a confidence. And in few years down the line, you will see her as one of the motivational speakers out there who will teach you how to get better. Over to you, Usha Parihar. Usha Jaiswal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhirat. First of all, I would like to explain the role of our counter. So basically, when we speak, there are tendency we forget words, or sometimes we get nervous and we start using clutch words, or we can say pause fillers, like the words. And sometimes we start using repetitive words. So today, the our counter rule is to note down words or pause fillers that are used during the speech. And during this meeting, I will listen the overused word, including and, when, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including I will also uh, I will also listen when a speaker repeats the words or phrase such as I, this, etc. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report when the general evaluator called. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Usha. That was our counter. We now move ahead to the next important role players of today's meeting. We have Saurav. Saurav, are you there? Toastmaster Saurav. He is the one who is behind all our wonderful posts which are there. He's the one who handles all our social media handles. Most of our team members, apart from Vasco, are unaware about the task or the wonderful invites that you get, the notifications that the general evaluator might have got, the notification what a guest Toastmasters would have got, are all designed and controlled by our VPPR. That's sort of. Saurav, I would now request you to kindly take up and explain everyone about today's role.
Yes, good morning. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Saurav, it is.
Give me a sec. Yes. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I apologize. I had an issue with my laptop, so I had to join in through my phone. So my role as a timer is to keep track of the meeting, to pay attention to all the speakers, and also alert them of the time they have left with their speech. To uh, to indicate that, I'll be using a red card, green card, and yellow card. Can please somebody confirm, are those cards visible on the screen?
Yes, Saurav.
Yes. So for table topics session, the time limit is 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will flash a green card, which means you have qualified for the speech. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll alert with a yellow card. Uh, at at 2 minutes, I'll flash a red card. And at the end of red card, you will have a 30-second grace minute where you can try to finish your speech. For formal speeches, which will be for 4 to 5 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll flash a green card. At 5 minutes, I'll flash a yellow card, and at 6 minutes, I'll flash a red card. Similarly, I will take note of all the time, and at the end of the meeting, I will come with a report. Thank you, Toastmaster Abrar. Back to you.
Thank you, Saurav. I request everyone to kindly pin the timer whenever you're speaking for all the table topics speakers, the speaker who is there. Now I would request our general evaluator, who is a teacher as well as a child counselor, to come forward and tell us about her role. She is joining us all the way from Mumbai, and although she's in Goa and not in Vasco, she's always present for all our meetings. Thank you, Aarti. Over to you, General Evaluator.
So very good morning to all of you. Today, as the general evaluator, my role comes in at the third part of the meeting, where, as already informed by the president, we will first have the prepared speeches, then we have the table topics, and then, of course, comes my part of the general evaluation. Now, in the general evaluation also, the entire segment will be further divided, where first I will have our dear evaluator, TM Meenal, to come ahead and present her evaluation of her speaker. That will be the first part. The second part would be to have the report of our tag team, followed by my evaluation of the overall meeting today. So that's the flow, and I'm sure this meeting is going to be wonderful. So we'll wait for the tail end of the meeting for my part of the section. So that's it from me. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Aarti Iyer. And we believe in those affirmations. This meeting will be good. Every Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. We have the prepared speech section, where speakers prepare for speeches and deliver them. We have evaluators, who are called as speech evaluators, who evaluate those speeches. There is the second section, which is an impromptu section, which is open for all the people who are not the role players or not mentioned on the agenda, I would say. All these people are requested to step up and attempt to take up an impromptu speaking role. That's how you become better. There is the third section, that's the evaluation section. Feedback is very important in Toastmasters. In this evaluation sections, we have Toastmasters who will come and give their feedback with methods well defined by Toastmasters fraternity without heckling anyone. I would just like to give you all a simple trick which I use before reading news. Okay. So in case if you have a newspaper and it says, it claims like 1/3 of Goa is going to do this, or 1/3 of India is dying from hunger or whatever. You have to look at the upside. 2/3 of them are not. No one is claiming that. No one is paying attention to that. So whenever you get this number, especially people who are from finance, know it very well. You invert it and you look the other way around. Especially when we're reading, we, due to a confirmation bias, we start paying attention to all these numbers and start building up on them without realizing and comparing or inverting. So this inversion of going back and forth really helps you out. I would request everybody to use the simple mental model which is there. Quickly moving on to the prepared speech section, we have our we have only one speaker, and that is Toastmaster Anthony Gomes. He is a French professor. He was our immediate past president. He is currently now the area director of Area W3. Fun fact, he's already finished one of his first part, and this is his second part, and we are proud of him. And I would request the Zoom master to kindly spotlight our speaker one. Toastmaster Anthony. Before we hear from him, I would request his evaluator, Toastmaster Meenal Bale, to come forward and tell about his role. Meenal, are you there?
Yes, I can see us just joined. Just connecting our audio and video. Yeah, Meenal.
Hi, am I audible and visible?
Yes, Meenal, you are.
So today is in fact a very euphoric moment for Vasco Toastmasters Club because one of our charter members, one of the founding pillars, and our very own ex-president is embarking on his second pathways of dynamic leadership, level 1, project 1. The purpose of his speech is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Now, although this would be his second pathway, I would still be evaluating him as if it were his first. So wishing you all the best for your icebreaker speech, Toastmaster Anthony. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you, Meenal. Toastmaster Anthony, the road not taken. The road not taken, Toastmaster Anthony.
Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. I'm saying that because it was on my script. Now we don't have a guest, not my problem. The crossroad that Robert Frost speaks about is where I found myself. After going through the competent communication educational path, and then when we moved to pathways, having done presentation mastery, I had already exhausted my choices. I was there deciding where do I go? Which path do I choose? And that's when I said, let me take a path that I have really not traveled a lot. And that's when I chose dynamic leadership. Now, this being my third icebreaker, and no, it's not because I was asked to repeat it over and over again because I've not done it well. It's because of this competent communication manual, then presentation mastery, and now dynamic leadership. I didn't know what more I could get to the table, I could bring to the table and make it a euphoric moment for all the ones who've already heard me and who know me. I didn't want to give out my name, my profession, my Aadhaar card, my bank details, or Probably you can get them, a click away on the internet. You see, everything is out there. So what do I tell about myself? And that's when I said, I'm going to tell people today probably two things about me, two important and significant elements that make me as a person. Now, the first one is I am someone who believes in the how over the what. Now, to illustrate that, when I was graduating at my graduation college, we had to do a lot of presentations. And I had noticed that every time you put something on the slide, the teacher would then question you after you present. Now, there's one trick that I found to escape that questioning was, don't put anything. Put a picture or put the minimum data possible and talk about it. Because when you speak, it's ephemeris. It's gone. It's over. It's for the moment. And what happens? The teacher has no proof that you have said something that is not right. And there you go. During the same time, I had another subject, which was on communication skills. And we had a faculty who told us that, you see, 30% is what you say, but 70% is how you say. Well, the Toastmasters, those who have worked with me closely would know by now how important it is for me as to how I frame my data, my texts when they go out. And that's because we all make an impact by the way we send things out, by the way we say. It's the how that matters. And to me, I am one person who really focuses on the how of the communication. The next thing about me that by now, probably the ones who have been with me know, is that I am someone who prefers to be organized, methodical, and a little meticulous in my ways. And I think that has helped me over a period of time. I'm reminded when I was thinking about this point, I was reminded about the time when I came back from France after my exchange semester. And it was a year past, but I had some emails coming to me saying that, you have to pay a certain amount for your housing insurance renewal when I was there. But I vividly remember that I had actually stopped all my housing insurances, all my health insurances. I had closed my bank account, all of that sort. But it was still coming to me. I said, I'm come back and I have a semester that I have to finish. And I was also working at that point. I really did not have time for that. So I continued. I had 2 emails, 3 emails that came, never bothered. But one fine day, I receive a letter. And the letter says, if you do not pay up those 100 euros, 100 and some odd euros, your file will be given to the recovery agency and they will recover it from you. At this point, I was perplexed. I did not know what to do. I immediately called a friend in France and I said, hey, you know what? Do you have probably around 100 odd euros on you? Because I need you to transfer it right now to a particular account. And he said, see, I don't at the moment, but I can arrange in 2 days. And good that night passed because I went back to my emails and I went back to the garbage that I bought, the garbage that my mother said, because I had got back all the papers, all the bank papers. And I found a letter there, which I had said, I'd asked them to close the bank account and along with that, all the supplementary insurances. And when I sent them, I wrote a nice email to them. I spoke to them. And guess what? This activity or this element of being organized helped me because that's what they said is because you left France before the insurance would get over, we have to return you some money. And they now, instead of me paying them, they owe me some money. Well, fun fact, they haven't paid it yet. So ladies and gentlemen, this is me. This is Anthony. Anthony who has grown over time. Anthony who has grown from speech 1 to speech, icebreaker 1 to icebreaker 3. Now, being organized, being methodical, what has helped me can help all of you as well. Today, as I embark upon this third educational pathway, I envision myself, I see myself going and having a DTM very soon. I know for a reason, being at this crossroad, it is difficult. But we all remember what Robert Frost said. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood. And I took the one less traveled, and that has made all the difference. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anthony. Can we all switch on our cameras and as a moment of appreciation because he's delivered his second icebreaker speech. Thank you. I would now request everyone to give your evaluations or your feedback personally to Toastmaster Anthony on private chat or maybe on WhatsApp. Come back quickly because I'm going to tell you a tip on how to lose weight. See, all their eyes go ahead. Yeah, I am going to tell you how to lose weight. Timer, do let me know when the minute is up.
Yes, 1 minute is up.
Sort of on my watch, it was 45 seconds. I know you want to know how to lose weight. Anyways, before we move on to the next section, I would take 2 minutes and tell you how I lost weight. Now everyone will question, when did you gain weight? Well, you know me just for last 1 year. Maybe I was healthy back in my early 20s. Well, I had given all the reasons that I had to. Did you know, fun fact about Abrar, I have never entered a gym. Never. I think I knew most of the gym owners. They are all my friends, I would say, almost 7 to 8 gyms in town. I know around 6 of them. Boasting about my connection, yes, I know. But I went there and I told them I want to join in. But I knew for a fact that I would never show up. I had a very bad diet, according to all the healthy people out there. But I was enjoying my food. But what added to me gaining weight was the surgery what I had undergone. That had increased almost around 15 kgs of my weight. I had double chin, triple chin. I did not have six pack. I had a family pack. So what I did was I took out a piece of paper and wrote all the things and all the reasons why I would not continue this. Took out a timeline of 75 days. Trust me, you can do it this. Simple process. Take out a sheet of paper, write down all the things why you are not going to lose weight. You're going to have a bad diet. You're not going to drink water. You're going to have all the carbonated drinks. You are not going to hit the gym. Maybe you are not hitting the gym because you are traveling. Maybe you're not hitting the gym because your schedule was not, you had something spontaneous that popped up. You saw Toastmasters meeting, you left the gym. There can be numerous reasons. Write all these reasons down and then not do all of them. What I did was I got a pair of clothes. I got a pair of shoes. I put my cap on. I put my plugins on. I put it in a bag and I took it everywhere. Trust me, I even took it to when my grandfather was undergoing the surgery. This was somewhere in 10 o'clock in the night and I was running across the hospital. People thought I had gone crazy and I said, no, I'm just finishing up. So every day I clocked in and I did it again and again and again for straight 75 days. And that's how I did it. For any more details, you can get in touch with me. I will send out how I did it. We will now quickly. So why I said stories is, or why I'm sharing a numerous story is because this is one of the tips which was given to me by our distinguished Toastmaster from the fraternity. I'm not going to name because there are many of them who have repeated the same advice because you know all the good advices are given to you and you never pay attention to it. They said, get more stories in. So in case if you associate or if there is a particular topic which is given to you from the table topics master, that is Toastmaster Ashley Fernandez, what you're going to do is maybe pick up a story. It's easy. You can do it. I'm very sure we have around 12 participants in the room and I am expecting 86 of them to attempt. So I would now request Toastmaster Ashley to kindly come forward and go ahead and handle the table topics section, the impromptu section. Toastmaster Ashley is a computer faculty and the master of ceremonies. He's also our VP membership. Over to you, Toastmaster, table topic master, Ashley Fernandez.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, President Abrar. And I am sure those tips on losing weight were surely for me too. So I will keep that in mind. And I have my paper ready here, Abrar, ready to lose weight. Good morning, everyone. Fellow Toastmasters, guests. I'm actually feeling very euphoric this morning. Looking at everybody's smiles on their cameras. Table topics helps members practice their art of improvisation and also helps in thinking on our feet. The topics that I have prepared for you are very easy, I would say, because they are related to the theme of today and also the festival that we just had, Diwali. Since we at Toastmasters try and provide a speaking opportunity to maximum of our members, this session is not alone for the members, it is also for our guests. I hope everyone will give it a shot. I may randomly call anyone to participate, or you can just volunteer. So the timings for the table topics are from 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute is the minimum time, 1.5 is the target time, and 2 minutes is where you stop at the maximum. So speakers will be given 30 seconds of grace before they are disqualified. So now let me do the most challenging part, and that is choosing whom to call in first. Can I request Toastmaster Meenal to take the first one, if you don't mind, Meenal?
Sure.
Okay, Meenal. How was Diwali?
Value is good.
Okay, Meenal, you know that Diwali is about fireworks and crackers. Okay, so I have 10 crackers with me right now. What you need to do is just choose one out of them. So from 1 to 10, choose a cracker. One cracker.
One.
Okay. Now, your topic is your boss, your superior, or your teacher says, do it my way. But deep down inside, your heart says, I will follow my procedures. This is a problem in front of you. How would you go in resolving it?
Could I request you to repeat it once?
Yes,
just
sure.
So that I get it right.
Your boss, your superior, or maybe your teacher says, do it my way. But deep down inside your heart, you want to do it as per the procedures you want to follow. How would you approach a problem like this?
Well, thank you for that question on a Sunday morning. It definitely did wake me up more than having a cup of coffee. what I would think is going back to my childhood days in school, when we were taught that solving a math problem means you have to be present in the moment and think of your solution before you even start solving the problem. And it was the riders, if I'm not mistaken, in our 10th standard, where our school teachers taught us that no matter what method you use, just make sure you arrive at the answer. And I remember I used to sit with a pencil, solving it first and then erasing it and writing it fair in pen. I don't know, a lot of people have asked me how I managed to get so much time for a mathematics examination. I think that was because the rest of the part where the theorems needed certain formulae, they were by heart. So at that time. Now, carrying the same learning into my present day, a lot of times it has happened when I've had to put my foot down in front of my boss, my colleagues, or even my mentees and my reportees and say there's a certain way of doing things. But I've also learned along the way that not everything is written in stone. And the best way to do something is to follow your gut. So if that is the case, and I do not agree with someone who comes up to me and say, do it my way or take the highway, I would just prefer doing it the way I would be more comfortable in getting the same impact. And then going back and telling the person, hey, I tried your way, but somewhere down the line, I had to improvise and I managed to do it my way. Here's your result. Here's my happiness. It's a win-win situation. And it's an euphoric moment for the entire team because the end result is achieved. I think that's just my way of solving a problem at any given point of time. Thank you, and over to you, Table Topics Master Ashley.
Wow, Meenal, that was just amazing. And the right way of going about this question, and that is exactly what I was thinking. And you took us there, and you said something that even woke me up. Riders, I was so bad at them. Meenal, at least you would try. I would just write the answer looking at the left-hand side, and that's it. Couldn't go more than that. Okay, since we've got a bright start, can we pick Toastmaster Tanvi? If you could take the next one.
Yes, Ashley.
Okay, Tanvi, since the first cracker is already busted, we have crackers from 2 to 10 now. You choose.
8.
8. Okay, here is your question. Patience is the key which solves all problems. Do you agree with this or do you disagree? I will repeat the question. Patience is, yep. Should I repeat it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Patience is the key which solves all problems. Do you agree with this thought or do you disagree?
Patience is the key that solves all problems. I'm not sure. I don't agree and I will not disagree as well. Basically, because we all face problems and sometimes the solution is just to wait till the solution comes to you, or you just have to wait it out sometimes. So yes, patience is very important when it comes to solving problems, but just waiting for things to get right or just waiting for things to blow over isn't a solution really. So yes, it's very important when you're faced with a challenge. The first thing is take a step back and think what exactly can be done to improve the situation, and then accordingly take the right action after planning. So yes, patience is very, very important. but it may not solve all of your problems. It depends upon the problem, and you have to decide for yourself whether what works and what not, what doesn't. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanvi. And I'm sure all of us agree with you. Yes, patience does not work all the time. And nice thoughts on that one. Can I pick the next one? Master Elvina, if you would like to try.
Sure.
Okay. So Toastmaster Elvina, she's always with a smile, and brings in so much of energy for all of us. The first cracker and the 8th cracker, both gone. So now you can choose between 2 till 10.
Oh, okay, crackers.
Yeah.
I choose 4.
4th cracker, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a nice one. Most of us love firecrackers. What are your thoughts on firecrackers? Should they be left alone and said that, okay, it's just once a year that we burst them? Or should they be banned, saying that they pollute the environment?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ashley. Your topic is very, very controversial to my mind, to my personal mind, because I personally love crackers, but I'm also a very environment conscious person. But rather, I'll start with this. It is true that crackers do produce a lot of harmful chemicals or whatever towards the environment, but the joy of that one day's burning of crackers is something I do not wish to take away from people celebrating, say, for example, Diwali. Like just the other day, we had Diwali and I went to my friend's place. And after a very, very long time, I burst crackers, I used sparklers, and there was that bomb kind of a thing. Oh God, but it was a matter of just few seconds, a few minutes of joy. But the amount of laughter it generated, like it filled up the whole evening. So I wouldn't say that crackers is a bad thing. And now with the advancement of technology, there is a way to substitute the chemicals, the harmful chemicals that are used in crackers with more environment friendly chemicals. So what happens is we can still continue having this joy of having crackers, but at a more environmental conscious spectrum. So I wouldn't say ban them. Oh God, if I say ban them, all the kids on the street will come and hammer me with their crackers. But rather I'd say keep them, but choose more environmental friendly ingredients, the crackers which have more environmentally friendly ingredients. By the way, who's the timer? I mean, you always show the cards, right? Oh, okay, done. It's like the timer thought of it. With that's it, I guess. I really, really love crackers. Please don't ban them. Please use environment friendly ones. Yes, thank you. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elvina. And it's always a pleasure having you speak. There's so much of fun that one gets out of you. And I'm sure, yes, it is a topic which is controversial, but your thoughts do really matter. And I feel the same. We all have to be safe at the same time, have that little fun. Okay, let me move on. And okay, let me open it up to the house now. Anybody wants to volunteer? Any volunteers? Toastmaster Sonia, if you want to take the next one.
Hi. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Very funny. Sorry about joining late today. There was masses and then there was a big.
Okay. Let me give you your topic. Now, 1, 4, and 8 are gone. So you can choose any other number between 1 to 10. Leave apart 1, 4, and 8.
7.
7.
Take care.
Okay. Here's your question. You need a day off from your work, but your supervisor doesn't allow you. So what sort of an excuse that you will make to get out of that day?
At this situation, I will remember my uh, grandfathers and grandmothers who already died and gone to heaven, because that's the only thing which comes to my mind. Because otherwise, if I use any other excuse like I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm not well, then there's always a fear whether you will be caught or some of your friend will tell. But if you take the excuse of your died grandparents, they are already in the heaven, right? So it's no use. Nobody is going to ask which grandfather died, which grandmother died. So that's the best excuse, that this one passed away, that one passed away. There will be no checkup. Because if I remember, there was a time, when we had bunked work and gone to the cinema theater once. And I remember, like, we were almost 5 of us who had done that thing, and we had gone to the cinema theater and go to see the friend of a manager, a colleague of the manager was present at that same cinema theater. So that was like such a this thing, and we got a memo after that. And we were said that this kind of behavior will not be entertained in the future. So from that moment onwards, I always made this point that no matter what, I'll just say that I lost this one, I lost that one, and I'll not be able to come for work. And that excuse is always uh, accepted. Yeah, so I'd just like to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia, for your inputs on that. And I'm sure when I asked that question, there were so many thoughts running in everybody's minds and the different types of excuses everybody makes. But I feel sometimes it's good to be truthful. Timer, do we have time for another one?
Yes, we can do one more. Yes.
Okay. Can I have a volunteer for this one? If not, then I pick one. Any volunteers for this one? Saurav, would you like to try?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
1 second. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry about I'm pixelated.
No problem. You look good this way.
I know. Okay, so let me.
It looks like a war of pixels.
Yes.
Okay, so Saurav, 8, 7, 4, and 1 are gone. You can choose any other number from 1 to 10. 1, 4, 7, and 8 are gone.
6.
6. Okay. Now this one, I'm so sorry. My daughter came to give me a pen. So sorry about that. Your question is flight or fight, meaning you are facing a situation in life. So what do? Do you run away from the situation or do you stand there and fight? Your thoughts on this?
Oh, thank you, Toastmaster Ashley, for this amazing topic. It takes me back to my memories, back to my school days and then a recent college years. So the best thing to win a fight is avoid them. So what I understood is if the situation hasn't reached till where you cannot fight, if the person is known, I think that's the best thing. And if the person just really wants to hit you up, beat you up, if you can run, then run. I think a year ago I could run faster, but I think for me, as of now, I cannot run that fast. So I think I have to face that person. Probably he will need, of course, he will have a cause if he wants to beat me up. For I think the one thing would be be if I messed up something, if I deserve it, I'll take the beating. Second could be he needs my money. If I have some, I will give it to him. And the third would be to resist fighting. But I think it would be a last case scenario where I would, fight back. I would always try to avoid fight because I have seen people getting beaten up, and I think it's not worth it. It's never worth it getting beaten up or beating somebody, because it's never the solution. I think the best way a fight always occurs when there is a frustration and the person needs to let it out. And I think there are a lot of ways where you can let your anger out. I think I'll always avoid a fight. I don't know the ways that I would avoid a fight. I would probably give him the money, or feed him something, or give him the car, or I'll take the bus. I don't mind at all. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what my thoughts are on flight or fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav. And if you and me get into a fight someday, just get me something to eat, bro. That's it. That diffuses the fight there and there. Okay, so I think we are done with the time. Timer, have all the speakers qualified?
Yes, all the speakers are qualified.
Okay. Do we have the voting now for the best table topics speaker?
You may conduct the voting in case all the speakers have qualified. Juma, sir.
Yes, as per the schedule, as per the agenda, since it is timed for now, we'll have the voting for the best table. There you go, requesting you to vote for the best table. There you go. Thank you. It's table topics master, we are done.
Thank you, Zoom Master. And at the end, I would all say that in whatever you do, maybe be a fight, a problem, Diwali, or any celebration, just look after yourself and take care of yourself. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you, table topic master, Toastmaster Ashley. Thank you for also stepping up and doing the voting. Since we are running less on time, I will now quickly move forward to stay on time and hand over the final section to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Aarti. Stage is all yours.
Okay, so there I am. The final segment of the meeting today, the general evaluation. Oh, sorry, that's my mom preparing sumptuous meal for me. So if the cooker goes on a couple of times, it just means that I'm going to have a lovely lunch. So you're most welcome to join in. Okay, moving back, one very important thing before we really proceed is you see me so often with the Vasco Club meetings is purely because this club has this sense of euphoria so strong that it almost every single time lures me to want to be a part of the meeting. So that's something I think I'm very vocal about, and I definitely do want to put that across even today at the very onset that I enjoy the club meetings. And as always, this meeting too has been wonderful. We'll go ahead with the evaluations now. I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Meenal to present the evaluation of her speaker, Toastmaster Anthony.
Audible and visible?
Yes.
My dear speaker today, Toastmaster Anthony. I'm in a bit of a fix because I have seen you give your first icebreaker in person a couple of years back at Goa YMCA Toastmasters. And here you are today, a couple of years down the line, giving your first icebreaker again for another path, but online. How do I differentiate, or how do I gauge? Or do I leave it all independent and just focus on the fact that it's supposed to be your first? I think I'll definitely do the latter. However, I cannot miss the fact that your journey so far has helped you become more confident on stage, irrespective of whether it's offline or online. Your comfort level with the audience is just about right. Not too overconfident, not too underconfident, just the right amount of confidence to deliver your speech. Your purpose today was to figure out the structure of a speech and just to introduce yourself. And that was bang on. You had your speech into an opening, a body, and a summary. And each of it was elaborated on beautifully with personal examples. And I've always believed that that is something that definitely helps not just engage with the audience, but also help them resonate with, oh, someone's doing this, someone has done this, and this is something that we can do. It helps people pick up from your respective story. Now, there was vocal variety, there was clarity, not just in terms of your thoughts, but also in terms of your voice modulations. It was a complete package. And of course, the language used is something that I've always been a fan of. And even today, you had certain sprinkles of words here and there, which also helps the listener pick into certain takeaways. And I really struggled to find that one recommendation that I have to give you. But somewhere down the line, I had to keep an open mind and listen. So out of all the various aspects that were mentioned in your purpose statement, there was one that you did touch upon, but a little more of it could have definitely helped out, and that was gestures. In fact, tying it back to what you said, it's not what you say, but how you say it. So sitting down, yes, is a little restricting, but a little more of hand gestures emphasizing certain moments where you took the pauses perfectly and you modulated your voice. The facial expressions were there, the hand gestures a little more, and the entire speech could have been brightened up. But nonetheless, it's your first speech, and I will treat it as an icebreaker. Looking forward to all the awesome speeches coming up yet again our way. Just going to be a moment of euphoria where we get to relive all the olden times. All the best. Over to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenal. That was a lovely evaluation. We'll now move ahead for the tag team report. I request our timer for today, Toastmaster Saurabh, to please present your timer's report.
Good morning, everyone. I am back with my report. Looking at the agenda, we are slightly ahead of our time, but to be honest, everybody have paid respect to the times and everybody has qualified in their speeches. So Toastmaster Anthony took 6 minutes and 30 seconds. For table topic, Toastmaster Meenal took 2 minutes. Toastmaster Tanvi took 1 minute 32 seconds. Toastmaster Alvina took 2 minutes. Toastmaster Sonia took 1 minute and 34 seconds. Toastmaster Saurav took 1 minute. And for evaluation, Toastmaster Meenal took 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Yes. Thank you. Back to you, General Welfare.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. I would next like to call upon our counter for today, Toastmaster Usha, to please present your report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible, General Evaluator? Okay.
Yes.
So I'll begin with my report with Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abrar. He spoke 2 times Toastmaster Saurabh 15 times and spoke 3 repetitive words, where 1 time, I 1 time, the best thing 2 times. Toastmaster Aarti 1 time Toastmaster Anthony 3 times Toastmaster Ashley 5 times Guest Toastmaster Tanvi 2 times Guest Toastmaster Alvina 3 times and 1 time and Toastmaster Sonia 5 times Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha. Finally, our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Akanksha, can you please present your report?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Indeed, it was a euphoric meeting as we have got some amazing words to enrich our vocabularies with that I have noted in my report. Now, with regards to my report, I would start with our Toastmaster of the Day and our President, Toastmaster Abrar. Thank you for the weight loss tip. I've been trying really hard to lose weight and I'll definitely keep that in mind. And you also gave us some amazing words to add to our vocabulary with the words inception and spontaneous. You also discussed the concept of confirmation bias, wherein we are always looking out for information that favors our opinions, which is not quite true. And instead of following confirmation bias, we should instead be following the theme of our day, which was very well discussed by you, the inversion. Then going on to our speaker, Toastmaster Anthony, where you began your speech with an excerpt from the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, and that turned my mood from euphoric to nostalgic, as it was a poem that I studied in my school in the English syllabus. And it was so great to see that you took the road less traveled and how being organized helped you. And we should all must try to be more organized. But besides giving us the learning on being organized, you also gave us some words to add to our vocabulary, which were ephemeris, meticulous, and perplexed. And going to Toastmaster Alvina, she gave us the words controversial and spectrum. With regards to the word of the day, euphoric, which euphoric was the word of the day was used 8 times in the meeting. It was used once by Toastmaster Anthony, our speaker, thrice our speech evaluator, Toastmaster Meenal, once by a table topics master, Toastmaster Ashley, and once by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Aarti, and twice by our grammarian, that is me. So over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you. Yes, can we please go ahead and have the voting for the minor role players, please?
Yes, just give me a moment. Minor role player.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Shall we move ahead? Everyone done with your voting?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now it's my turn to evaluate the meeting overall. I can see Abrar smiling already. Okay. To start off with, the meeting started well before time, which was excellent. And we also had the live buyers of the club. That is, we had Toastmaster Anthony and Toastmaster Abrar there to get us all in mood to, ensure that there is humor, there is fun, and we're all so relaxed and fitting in perfect for the meeting. And that's something I really appreciate about the two of you, and I'm sure the others in the club as well. So that was wonderful. The music in the background, trust me, that was the first time I'm having a meeting, attending a meeting that has done something like this. And wow, for me, especially because I've traveled and I've just, reached home today. It was a wonderful way to start off, especially Sunday morning. I really like that. So kudos to you for that. The agenda was circulated well before time. So that was very nice because I knew what the program, the layout and the flow of the meeting is going to be. So that was a wonderful initiative taken. The Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Usha, did a very detailed briefing before the meeting started and also set the ball rolling exactly on time. Our dear President, Toastmaster Abrar, did a very crisp briefing as a president and was beautifully articulate as the Toastmaster of the day. I enjoyed listening to his stories. And yes, like one of the veterans that you did mention, trust me, stories always work. And with you also putting across your anecdotes and your stories across at regular intervals, you kept us all captivated and wanting to listen to more. And the way you deliver, talking about what happened in 2016 or about your weight loss journey and all of that, yes, you really kept us wanting for more. So you did a wonderful job as a Toastmaster of the day, Abrar. Moving to our tag team, Akanksha, as a grammarian, your introduction of your role was very, very crisp and your report was very detailed. So you balanced it out beautifully. Toastmaster Usha, I must compliment you for the eagerness to take up responsibility and the agility to take up the role as an R counter today, last minute. And you did justice to your job. So very well done. Cheers to you on that. Toastmaster Saurabh, you explained your entire role as the timer very well. A little recommendation, I will put that forth a little later, not right now. Right now, just compliments to you for doing your role well. And that takes a lot. In spite of having the technical glitches, good job done. Okay, our Toastmaster, Ashley, our table topic master, we enjoyed your topics. It was very, very relatable. You didn't complicate the topics too much. Also, you very patiently explained what the topics meant. So you put forth the topic and you explained to the participant what you were expecting out of them, which was very well done. The topics were very well prepared. So I know that you did put in a lot of time to think and come up with meaningful topics. I like that initiation because sometimes we just do it for the sake of it, but I know that you put in a lot of thought. You had 10 topics lined up. You had the participant pick on a number. So that was nice. That was very well done. And you also kept us all thinking. That was another thing. So when you put forth the topic, even something like should crackers be banned or no, it's something that I also go back to. It's very nostalgic for me. Or what would I do? What would be the excuses that I would want to put forth? So every topic of yours was very relatable. And you did get us all thinking. Whether we were speaking, we were participating was secondary. Even sitting on our chair, you did get us active mentally. So very, very good initiation for coming up with meaningful topics for the table topic section. All right, a few recommendations. The agenda was anyway circulated well in advance. One thing that can be done is if it can also be put forth in the chat box. So what happens is you don't have to really go back and hunt for the group to see what the agenda is. So putting that in the chat box will make life a little easier. Another thing that you can start is something called as the listener. Now, that is something we have started in our club, and I have seen that happening in another club or two. And it really makes it very interesting because it encourages everyone to actively listen. So, like how we have the tag team, there is somebody, so it's the timer, our counter, grammarian. We also have a listener. Now, what the listener does is he asks questions from the various segments. So, for example, 1-2 questions based on the speech, 1-2 questions based on somebody who spoke during the table topics, right? And then at the end of it, you give him about 2 or 3 minutes to ask questions. That okay, which speaker said this, or which speaker experienced this? Who is it who said that I started off with nostalgia? No, I started off in euphoria and ended up in nostalgia. So what happens is we are all actively listening. So we know that we are not just mentally present, but also physically and participating as well. So that is something that you can add if everyone in the club is okay with that. Another suggestion would be if all the members could leave the cameras on. Because it's an online platform, we are anyway missing the presence, the personal presence of everyone. Plus, with the camera being off on my laptop screen, I can just see a couple of faces and everybody else, on a blackout with just letters. So with the cameras on, thanks, Alvina. But with the cameras on, it just gives us a further personal touch. So, even for the speaker, it's fun because then I get to see the reactions. Now, Anthony nodding is good. It's motivating me, right? So that's something that we can do as long as we are on the online platform. One tiny recommendation to the timer. You did a fabulous job, Saurabh. Just if you could, I understand you had some technical glitches, but there was a little hitch here and there when it came to showing the cards. Now, what happens is when we start speaking, we are somewhere already conscious about knowing that the cards are going to switch and that the timing has to be very consciously followed. So there was a glitch where all of a sudden it was a green and in a couple of seconds it switched to yellow, or there was a case or two where the speaker had to ask whether the timer is there or is actually listening to what is happening. So if you could just work a bit on that, that would be fine. All right. So to sum it up, it was a well organized and a very crisp meeting. The theme was very, very well selected and had a great takeaway. Everybody for the meeting was very well prepared, and the ones who did chip in last minute did a wonderful job. So keep it up, and with a little fine tuning and a little working on the recommendations, the club meetings are only going to be smoother and going to be better and fun filled as always. So all the very best and looking forward to participating in so many more meetings. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day and our dear President, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. We have now the feedback. I had dropped off in case I missed out time. We do record this and wherever we can go and check our meetings on YouTube. Is it just me? Can you hear me? Because I am having internet connectivity issue.
Yes. Toastmaster Abrar, if you could just keep your video off so that it can save you some bandwidth.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably that would help. I'm sorry.
I now am I audible?
Well, not quite well. Nonetheless, you can try. Yeah. Yes, Abrar.
I would just guess here. Can we hear from our
Abrar? Toastmaster Abrar, would you like?
Toastmaster, yes.
Toastmaster Abrar, would you like to go with the voting for the major role player first?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. So I'm going to launch the polls for the best major role player, and there it's up on your screen requesting all of you to vote for the best major role player. A few more seconds and then we'll stop. Okay. Yes, Abrar, we may go ahead.
Thank you very much, Anthony, for having back always. I love the camaraderie that we have in this good touch word. I would like to hear from the guest. We have our area director of W1, Toastmaster Alvina, in a line or two.
Toastmaster Alvina?
Yes, got it. Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Abrar. Hey everyone, a very good evening. Oh, sorry. So used to attending meetings in the evening.
So used to.
Very good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Toastmaster Anthony. I had just entered home from Mass and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, there's a Vasco meeting. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything for the next half an hour. Why not? So I said yes, and I joined in. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashley, for giving me a really interesting table topic, because I was thinking about it on the day of Diwali, and I was listening to the news about the Supreme Court banning firecrackers, but giving an alternative for green chemicals. So I was like, oh, okay, it's a good topic. So thank you so much, Table Topics Master. Thank you so much, Anthony. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Abrar, the president, for, I agree with Toastmaster Aarti, okay? Your club always sets a different kind of atmosphere, something I feel clubs should try to achieve or strive for, and that makes us want to come and attend the meetings again and again. So good job, members of Toastmasters Club Vasco. And I wish you all the best for future endeavors. I hope I can attend more meetings in the future. Anyways, over to you, Toastmaster Abrar.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Reena. We have another guest Toastmaster. We have heard from Toastmaster Aarti. We have the president of Anaphon Toastmasters Club, Tanvi, maybe in a line or two.
Okay. Thank you, Abrar, for letting me attend this meeting. It's a wonderful way to begin a Sunday. So I think it was a great meeting. Thank you for allowing me to participate in table topics.
Thank you very much, Tanvi, for joining us. Tumas, can we proceed with the award section?
Yes. So my screen.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you see the screen, Abrar?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay.
Yes, Anthony. Been to the final section. The certificate of appreciation goes to Toastmaster Anthony for delivering his icebreaker. And since we did not have another speaker, we have certificate of appreciation to Toastmaster Meenal as well for her wonderful role as an evaluator. We now move forward to the table topic section. The best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Meenal. Congratulations, Meenal. For the best minor role player, any guesses? You may unmute yourself and guess. Is Toastmaster Akansha. Congratulations, Akansha. For the best major role player, we have Toastmaster Aarti Iyer, the general evaluator. Congratulations, Aarti.
Thank you.
Before we adjourn this meeting, I have three important announcements. Firstly, is our next meeting will be held on 19th of November. That is on 3rd of Friday. Vasco Toastmasters meets on 1st and 3rd of every Friday at 7:30 p.m. We had to defer from the date due to the Diwali celebration, and that answers everyone's question. Are we meeting on Sunday? No, we are still meeting on Friday. Second is the membership term. We as Vasco Toastmasters Club would like and request all our guest Toastmasters who are present here to send in your friends or your colleagues if they are in and around Vasco to come and join us. We are looking out for new members. Toastmaster Ashley Fernandez is our VP membership. Do get in touch with Ashley. If you have any other feedback, you may write to him as well. Third is the contest. We are proud to announce that Toastmaster Meenal had won the evaluation speech contest for area W3. Vasco, being the youngest club, has achieved this. Congratulations, Meenal. We also have from the next section, that's the humorous speech contest, we had Toastmaster Ashley Fernandez, who won the best speaker, and We are proud of you, Ashley, and we are proud of you, Meenal. All the very best to all the others who are looking forward to seeing their next competition, I would say. I would like to announce that the dates which are given to us for Division W is on 21st of November, correct? The timings and the agenda as well as the posters, as soon as they are out, everyone will be updated about the same. But from that, is there anything else that anyone wants to say? So as the presiding officer, I would like to adjourn this meeting. Recording stop.